Here's the thing about Black families, and I specifically talk about Black families because I grew up in a Black family and I grew up in a Black community. Obviously, have family, extended family members who are Black. So I've seen a lot of this, and a lot of us have, but yet we just continue in this pattern. A lot of Black families will accept or tolerate uncomfortable things or painful things. Uncomfortable things, like what I want to talk about today, dealing with someone who is obnoxious would be the word. Someone who's loud, someone who's talkative, someone who is extra. And usually that person is seen as the fun person of the family. Like everybody laughs at their jokes, think they are funny, but they're actually exhausting. They are very draining. And it's not fun to be around them because you have to fake laugh at everything they say. You have to pretend like they're always entertaining. And perhaps sometimes they are entertaining, but not all the time. It's a lot. And it's more worse if you actually have to live with that person. If that person, family member, is part of your household and you have to deal with that person every day. This is the case with my sister. My sister can just be a lot. And part of her narcissistic personality disorder is that she talks a lot. She's very extroverted, this I know, and there's nothing wrong with being an extrovert. I believe extroverts and introverts can hopefully find common ground. I believe other people have, but there are narcissistic traits that are just shown in her. And part of narcissism, like I said in a previous episode, that narcissism is more about self-centeredness. An individual who's self-centered, this is an individual who lacks empathy, cannot sympathize, cannot emotionally be there for you or connect with you. And part of narcissism is that they love attention. They always want things to be about them. So, with my sister being an extrovert, but at the same time being a narcissist, it's a very, it's a not good combo. Let me put it like that. It's not a good combo and it's very exhausting. For the longest time, I couldn't understand why I couldn't really get my sister's personality because I grew up with her. I've lived with her for so long. I should be used to how she is. But now I realize that it's not the extrovert part that I can't handle because I've met extroverts in my lifetime in different places, in different environments, at varsity, at work. I've met extroverted people. But now I see the difference that for her, it's because she is a narcissist. She is someone who's self centered, loves attention, and this is something she has gotten for all her life. Because my mother made her the center of attention, made her the entertainer. She was the one that had to be around the family members, around the elders, around the grown ups because she's so funny, because she's entertaining. And me being the introvert, I was not the entertaining one, obviously, because first of all, I was shy, I was reserved. I'm not going to be cracking jokes. I'm definitely not an entertainer. And it's possible for an introvert to be an entertainer, by the way. But I was just not that kind of person. And so my sister was always the person who was just brought to everybody to kind of just, make everybody feel good, entertain people, make people laugh. And she was the likable one. And so she got used to those hits, those dosages of attention. And she started loving it. So she grew up with that. And so part of her being so talkative is not just because she's extroverted, it's because she loves attention. And I couldn't understand why it would drain me so much, why it would feel exhausting to be with her. If you've ever truly been with someone who is talkative, it is exhausting. It is draining, especially if you're an introvert, because we recharge by being by ourselves, like connecting with ourselves, just being in your own space. And so, someone who is very talkative, who's very out there, can easily drain your energy. Even if they're not a narcissist, it makes it worse if they're actually a narcissist, someone who loves attention. My sister will talk even if I'm busy. And that has seriously started to annoy me. You see, I'm obviously busy. When I'm not busy, I try my best to give her all the attention that she really wants. But sometimes I'm really just busy, but she still wants to talk. Whenever I really want to do something and I want to be productive or I want to work, I have to make sure I'm not in the same room with her, because she will just keep talking, but I'm busy. It's this lack, it's part of narcissism, this lack of understanding other people or seeing or reading the room, even reading someone's mood, kind of just seeing that maybe this is not the right time to be talking. But even if it is the right time, I get exhausted because my sister will talk on and on and on. And I don't even know how to explain this, but I just know that this is one of the things that is so tolerated in Black families, and in Black families, introverts, people who are reserved, those who are shy, down to earth, those people are usually not accepted. It's very hard to be accepted. It's something you just kind of push through all your life, but you kind of know you're not you're not the favorite, and it's not about fighting to be the favorite, but it's just about being accepted as you are. But in most Black families, it's the people who are quote unquote bubbly, people who are loud, people who are talkative, because sometimes people can just be loud, and that's what it is. You are just a loud person. Fortunately, my sister is not a loud person, but she is very talkative. I mean, she has her times where her decibels do go higher, but she's not typically a loud person. But she is very talkative. And her talkativeness doesn't come from the fact that she's an introvert. No. No, excuse me, doesn't come from the fact that she's an extrovert. And there are extroverts who are not necessarily talkative, you know? But for her, I know it doesn't come from the fact that she's an extrovert. It comes from the fact that she loves attention. She has gotten used to it all her life, being the family entertainer, being the one who cracks jokes. And I was very envious of that. I won't lie, I grew up being so envious, so jealous of my sister because she was the likable one. She was the one that the family members wanted to see. She was the one at family gatherings who would be, more visible. And I felt invisible because I'm not talkative. This is why I'm saying that in most black families, the not so bubbly people are not really accepted. It's like, yeah, you're part of the family. It's like, we love you. You're gonna be here, but because you don't talk as much, we're just not gonna give you as much attention. Again, it's not a fight for attention. It's a fight for acceptance, for different personality acceptance. But because my sister grew up being this person, and I mainly blame my mother who made her this person. My mother made her this person because she always, in as much as I think my sister grew up being like that, because the reason my mother actually made her this entertainer, or always just, asked her to come out and just crack some jokes. She wouldn't necessarily specifically say it like that, but we all knew, like my siblings and I knew that, okay, it has to be the entertainer. I think she was born as an extroverted person. We also at a young age, you can tell, when like a child is just bubbly, and it's cute. And it's like it's cute, but it needs to be monitored so that they don't get too much. And I think with my sister, my mother didn't do a great job of monitoring that. And I even feel guilty saying this type of things because, ooh, these are not the type of things you're supposed to say, And especially as someone who's not even a parent, I'm not a parent, and it's always like these are some of the things that Black families will say, or grown-ups will say in Black families, like you also have your own children and you will see. It's like a threat. They make you feel guilty because you can't point out anything wrong in someone's parenting because you don't have a kid. And I understand, to an extent, I understand what that means, because there are a lot of things that I cannot understand right now about raising kids because I don't have kids. I haven't had that experience. But don't insult my intelligence. I am an adult. I am a grown person. I am a mature person. There are some things that I can point out, that I can see that is just not good parenting. I don't have to have a child in order to see some things that they are just not good parenting. There are some things that I'll never understand until I have my own kids, but it's fine to see. Ugh, I am getting so angry because the things that are just tolerated in Black families, it's insane. So my mother actually enabled my sister. My sister could have grown up to be this amazing extroverted person, just like many other people have grown up to be. But my mother lacked controlling that. Instead, she actually used her. She used her for her own benefit, so that the aunts, the uncles, the family members may know that her kid is so likable, her kid is so funny, her kid is so entertaining. She used it to her own advantage. And because of what she did, my sister is now the person that she is. In a previous episode, I have said that one of the things that my sister took after my mother is narcissism. And I've actually even been thinking about this, that I probably have those traits too because I was raised by a narcissist. This is why it's more likely for someone who grew up in an abusive family to become the abuser, because that is what you grew up seeing. So I know that even in myself, there are most likely narcissistic traits. One of the narcissistic traits is that you actually don't like to get constructive criticism. You don't like to be told you weren't good at something, you didn't do it well, you don't like that. And that's something I've battled with, that I don't like getting criticism, constructive or not. I don't handle that well. That's part of a narcissistic trait, because I grew up with this woman who was a narcissist. So there are some things that will obviously be evident in us, in me and my siblings, because we grew up under this. But what I can pride myself in is the fact that I'm now aware and I'm working on it and I'm trying my best. And I believe, looking back, I was never as horrible as my sister was to me. This is like a whole other episode where I can just get into how my sister was, how she was a bully, how she was mean, how she had anger issues. And understandable as it is, why she was like that. Because of our mother, who was self centered, who criticized us, who made us feel bad about ourselves in very subtle ways, but actually bit us down, actually bit our confidence. Like someone just whooping your confidence all your life. But my sister grew up into this person. And it's so unfortunate that she hasn't come to that stage as an adult to make certain changes. And this is why I'm no longer as forgiving of her actions, even just the fact that she is so talkative. The reason that now I'm not as forgiving is because she's now an adult. And now she can make the decision to change. My sister and I have had conversations that have just been fruitless about some of the things that she has done to me, some of the things that she has said to me, how she is, some of her behaviors. And with every conversation that we've had trying to resolve this, it just shows me that she's not willing to make that decision of changing. Maybe at this point of her life, maybe later on she will, but I don't have to tolerate all her crap while she figures that out. That's one thing I've learned, and I'm learning, that I don't have to tolerate someone's crap. If they're working through their stuff, I don't have to deal with the pain, the hurt, the insults, the criticisms that come with that while they are working through their stuff. It's better for me to distance myself from that while she works on her stuff. If she still needs to figure this out and sort herself out, that is fine. I also had the time and space to grow, and I need to allow her to do that. But I don't have to be around for that. I don't have to be hurting myself basically by allowing her to hurt me. I am hurting myself. I don't have to be around for that. And that's the thing with Black families. Like you have to take all the pain because that's your brother, that's your sister, that's your mother, that's your uncle. So you should just take it. You should just, because, family. Nah. Jesus. No. No, fam. Jesus's mother and brother are outside looking for Jesus at this particular, I don't know, a house or whatever. And Jesus is like, no. My family is here. Whoever is here with me, that's my family. Now, I'm applying this in a different context, but this is to say to me that my family is in Christ. And that's hard to say because I'm still in this world where I need relationships, where I need connections, where I need people to be there for me and I need to be there for other people. But it is such cases where I am hurt by my own family, I am hurt by those that I love, and I have to tolerate uncomfortable or painful things just because they are family. It's such cases where I am reminded that no, actually, I am a child of God. And I have a Father who truly cares and truly sees me, a God who is just and is fair. I don't need to tolerate this. I really don't need to tolerate this because in other cases, we understand if it's an abusive mother or physically abusive mother or father, we understand that, oh my word, get that child out of there. Call social services, call the police, call an aunt, call somebody to take that child away from that. If it's physical abuse, we understand. But if it's any other abuse, emotional abuse, narcissistic abuse, oh, like, no, you should just take that. I refuse. No more. Not me. I don't want to do it anymore. I've done it all my life and it has destroyed me. Ever wonder why your confidence is not so good? Why you have low self-esteem? It might be because of other reasons and other experiences. But you also need to look at your family. You also need to look at your childhood. Even how your relationship is right now with your family as an adult. How is it right now? Because it's most likely still abusive. If it was emotionally abusive back then, it's still most likely emotionally abusive right now. Because apparently, as I have studied, it only gets worse. Because you never, as a child, it's understandable, you were not mature enough to set those boundaries. And also there was the part of just respecting, quote unquote, respecting your parents. But as an adult, you now have the opportunity to set those boundaries and to start your healing journey and to distance yourself if you have to. And distancing yourself doesn't necessarily mean, at least for me at this stage, it doesn't necessarily mean completely disconnecting with my family. For other people, it has gotten to that point where they are emotionally abused and taken advantage of to such a point that they have to completely disconnect from their family. But distancing yourself can be simply setting boundaries. Yes, you're probably going to still live with your family or still see your family, still visit your family, but you need to emotionally distance yourself. You need to shut some doors emotionally and mentally from your family because they will keep on destroying you. It is destroying. And should you ever have this conversation with them, oh my word, they would just make you feel so guilty because how dare you think that they would want to hurt you? I mean, they are your family, they love you. So they say. Their actions actually speak the opposite of that. The things they say to you actually speak the opposite of that. But no, you should just take them at their word. That's the thing with most black families. We should just take people at their word that they love us. But the actions don't speak. Let the actions speak. Let the way that you speak to me, that you address me, let that speak volumes more than what you're saying. I don't want to hear that you're my family. You would obviously never hurt me. Like you're the only one that I got. I want to see that. I want to see the actions of that. Anyway, I digress. Back to my sister being talkative. Now, my sister being talkative is not like the most hurtful or painful thing. No. It's obviously not a painful thing. It's not a hurtful thing. There have been hurtful and painful things that my sister has done because she is a narcissist. But the talkative part, it's part of not her respecting boundaries. The fact that she can just feel like she has the right to talk to me when I am clearly busy, where she feels like she can just start a whole conversation. And it's not like if you see that I'm in the middle of something and maybe you just gotta quickly tell me something, okay, like that's fine. But if it keeps happening every few minutes, or maybe you start like a whole conversation, a whole topic, or you start talking about somebody and now I have to jump in with my points. Can you not see that I'm busy? It's not respecting that boundary. It's loving attention. We really have to look at this that people who are talkative, there's most likely a part of them just loving attention. Not because they just love talking because they can't stop, it's just their personality trait. No, a part of it has to do with loving attention. And I know for my sister it does. I didn't see it before. I tried accepting her because I've always wanted my family to accept me as the reserved person that I am. So I also felt the need that, hey, if that's what I want from other people, I also have to accept other people's personality. I have to accept my sister's personality. But like I said, I've met other extroverts. They're not like her. They don't talk as much. They don't demand as much attention. So I know the difference. I know the difference. So I don't have to take it. So now I am constantly trying to avoid my sister because it's exhausting. It is exhausting. I don't know if maybe for her it is a coping mechanism to be always talking, but it's exhausting, it's draining. And the fact that my way of living, which is sometimes I just need some peace and quiet, sometimes I just need to be by myself. The fact that that's not respected makes it even more not okay for me to tolerate her talkativeness. If I have to sit through all the things that she has to say, everything that pops in her mind and she just has to say it, if I have to put up with that, why can she not also put up with the fact that I need my peace and quiet? So you see, we're not even respecting each other here. So if I have to tolerate that and understand that, hey, you just want to talk all the way. And the reason I don't want to tolerate it, it's because it's part of loving attention. It's not a personality trait. It's loving attention. It's loving, and I can tell the difference. There are times where my sister is just talking and I see that, okay, this is just us talking, and there are times where I just see that you just talking for the sake of talking. You just talking for the sake of not keeping quiet. I don't know, can you not stand your own thoughts? Or you don't want to sit in silence, so you feel like you just need to talk. I don't use me for that. Don't use me then. If you feel like you can't stand your own thoughts, or you don't want to be alone, because then maybe you'll start thinking too much, don't involve me. Don't make me your coping mechanism. No, I'm not. Because I don't want to do this anymore. I've justified it. I've tried to be so understanding while nobody was understanding of my personality. But I tried, because I was like, if this is what I want from other people, to accept me, to understand me, I also need to put that out there to other people. I also need to be understanding of other people's personalities. And I also need to improve where I need to improve. If I am spending way too much time by myself, I need to improve and spend more time with my family if that's what I need to do. But I don't need to spend every waking second of my life with my family. No, that is another thing. But this should be like a whole other episode. That is another thing with my family. Like they think they deserve all my time. Like, not just my family, other families too. I've seen this in other families too. That, like, you feel like you're so deserving of all my time. Like, if I'm just around the house, I should just be with you. This is why I'm saying, like, am I your coping mechanism? Can you not stand your own thoughts? Do you not want to be alone? Are you dealing with certain things? Because if you are, let's rather talk about that. Let's rather at least tackle the issue at hand, instead of you using me as a coping mechanism. Like I just have to be here to fill a certain void. No. Call on to Christ. Cry to Jesus. Because I'm not God. No. I will not be used as a emotional toy. If you've got some issues, if my sister has some issues that she needs to let out, I'd rather talk about that. Because that's more meaningful. That's more productive. Let's rather talk about, what are you avoiding maybe? What are you avoiding in your head? Why do you not maybe want to be alone? I know that some people don't want to be alone most of the time. Again, it goes to just different personalities. But that's how I like to spend most of my time. So that's not respected for me. I just need to always be there. Black families can be so entitled, even entitled to your time and your energy. No, you are not. You are not entitled to my time and my energy. I don't have to give it all to you. As if like every time I need to spend time with you, I need to, like, if I just go somewhere else and be by myself, it's like, oh, are you mad? Why are you not spending time with us? Do you not love us? No. And they don't actually directly say those things. Like, a lot of this that I'm talking about, it's never directly said. It's never explicitly said, but it's in the way that they say it, the way that they put it. It's, you see, as if like, just because I wanted some time to myself, so now it's like, are you mad? Was I supposed to give you all my time in my day so that you see that I'm not mad? No, no one is entitled to my time and my energy and my me like that. No, I don't have to give you all of my time so that you see that I love you. I don't have to do that. And now I'm mature enough to know that it is not wrong to want some time to myself, especially as someone who is reserved and recharges that way. It's not wrong for me to want some time for myself. So no, I will no longer tolerate this.